So this is episode 32 of Oluswole, the podcast on the budget. I'm excited to welcome our guest. He is a Yeet fan, computer scientist, big stepper. Luka, what's good?
Big stepper. I mean, what else can I say? I don't know. I think you're hyping me up a little bit too much, but yeah, I mean, you got the description pretty right, I would say. So, yeah. How are you doing, Timmy?
I'm good,
Okay.
Just chilling, vibing, grinding,
Okay.
podcasting.
We talked about this before, but how was your spring fling?
Spring Fling was good. That actually happened. So we're recording this on April 9th? And Spring Fling was April 8th, so it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was a movie, dog.
It was a movie. No lie. Can't lie.
That was fire.
No, I saw. Okay, so it was like we were split up into like the two sections, right? So like people on the left side, people on the right side, and all of me and my roommates, and then some people in my frat, we went to the right side, and we just like I feel like we owned that place like for a little while. Like we just had to we were creating so many mosh pits, creating so many just area. I mean, I didn't get a bottle from the Liati, but if I got one, I would have turned up even more. But the left side, I mean, you guys, I knew a lot of people on the left side, but I feel like you guys didn't turn up as much. And I feel like all the people complaining about, Spring Fling wasn't whatever, they're all on the left sides because you guys just didn't party hard enough. So I don't know, but maybe you could give a little experience to what you thought of it.
I mean, personally, I thought it was great. I didn't have any qualms. I mean, yeah, I thought it was pretty turned. People were, getting pushed around, but it's a mosh pit. You expect that, you know what I mean? So, I don't think it's that crazy. Yeah. But, man, when Yachty started throwing those water bottles into the crowd, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people here just don't have a lot of experience with concerts. So, maybe, a lot of the complaints came from that and just, the fact that, I'm not really too used to, this type of, environment,
Yeah.
So, I mean, people were more excited about EDM than a rap concert with two a good A-list artist and a B-list artist. People just did not care. They're no, let me go Magic Gardens instead for $80, and they got scammed. So, I mean, well, you know what? Let me not even say anything because I feel like some people probably enjoyed themselves, but I don't think the cost to what ratio, the enjoyment to cost ratio was high enough. So I don't know. I was thinking about Magic Gardens, but I'm happy about the Spring Fling instead. So
yeah. Magic Gardens was never on for the listener. That's another part of Philly. So basically, on Spring Fling is a big event that we host in Philly or host on campus every year, where we have big artists that come and perform. And then the other alternative to going to Spring Fling was Magic Gardens, which is another place in Philly.
Yeah,
and it was basically a big pay to entry kind of event where you just listen to EDM music and it's like a rave kind of
essentially. Yeah, I mean, well, don't get me wrong, I feel like the last the closer, I forgot what they're called, the cheat codes or something.
Cheat codes.
Those artists, I think they're in that realm. So I think I got a little bit of everything just with $30. So whoever went to Magic Gardens, you got scammed. But
you were playing chess, they were playing checkers.
I was playing chess. But it's whatever you're interested in, just go to that and have fun. Money is a social contract, so you shouldn't be thinking too hard, personally. So I don't know. You have any plans for tonight? Any specific?
Tonight? I don't know about tonight. I'm gonna have to be a good boy and do my homework.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. Depends where the move's at. The move's at, we pull up.
That's fair.
Then no moves. Then there are no moves.
No, there are darties going on right now for the people watching. So, but this is much more important. Oluswole is much more important. This man will be big one day. So, yeah.
Appreciate you, bro. Fingers crossed.
Don't even cross your fingers. You just know.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's great.
Yeah. Do you listen to Yachty properly, or do you just kind of know his music? And
I mean, I think as of now, not really as much. I listen to a lot of Yachty. Okay, actually no. Let me rephrase this. I do listen to Lil Yachty. His new albums, I've actually enjoyed quite a bit. So I think Lil Boat 3 I enjoyed a lot. That dropped quarantine time 2020. I enjoyed. I forgot the one album. He dropped an album with a bunch of Detroit artists, and I'm a huge fan of their delivery, and I don't know if you know Babytron and Louis Ray and all these what's his name? I'm forgetting all these names. I think Rio the Young OG. They're kind of not really underground, but they're more regional to that area. But he dropped like a collab album with like all these artists, and I was like low key amazed by like how well he fit in. And like I think Yachty is like one of those guys who people kind of don't take seriously for his music. Sometimes just because of the stuff he dropped in 2016, which is when I got introduced to Yachty, like what, ninth grade, or no, that was like middle school. But yeah, no, he's evolved like a lot as an artist, and I feel like people really like underappreciate that. It's like really cool to see like him try out the different lanes each year and just like come out with like a bunch of interesting experimental stuff. So people definitely listen to more Lil Yachty. I know people were like, oh, I don't know one Yachty song coming into Spring Fling. I'm like, that's unnecessary. That's unacceptable. So the man, he's an underrated artist. I like him. So yeah,
interesting. I wasn't one of those people saying I don't know any Lil Yachty songs, but I really only knew the big ones like Oprah's Bank Account, I Spy, Broccoli, Yacht Club. I really like that one. I only knew those 4 coming in, but he's one hell of a performer.
No, he is, and I think I don't know. I think a lot of the big songs that he has are just him featuring on something, which I understand, because like sometimes like I guess the songs which he's like making, he's like making the big appearance, and like whatever producers like he has on, like they're like the main star of the show, like they're a bit not super commercial, I feel, for like some people, including like his old like 2016 stuff. Like that was like people were hating on that like crazy. I remember like the first Lil Boat mixtape, people were like, what is this? But when he like features on a song and he just like puts a little bit of melody and auto tune, like no one really has a huge issue, because there's what's his name in the background, there's like T Grizzly in the background, or there's Kodak Black in the background, or there's Kyle in the background, which are people who are a little bit more, I guess, commercial in a way in terms of their sound, a little less experimental. So I feel like people mainly know Lil Yachty off of like those type of things, in which he's like just a like side and just the chorus and then he's out. So, but people should definitely, if you're a real rap fan, you should definitely look into Lil Yachty just a little bit more. Ooh. Believe it or not.
You said if you're a real rap fan.
I'm serious. People should put down whatever preconceived notions they have about artists and just listen and then turn off your brain. That's my humble opinion. I've learned a lot from doing that. So
like it's like complete turn off.
Yeah, just complete turn off. Complete turn off. Because you're not supposed to be, I mean, well, you can listen to his lyrics and be like, oh, maybe he's saying something here, but it's Lil Yachty. Like he's not really saying anything. But you just like take it for what it is. You take it for what it is. He has good flow. He has maybe an interesting beat selection that you've never heard of. And you appreciate that he's doing something different, and you just leave it at that. So I feel like people should just turn off their brains and listen to more music from those type of artists. So
I agree with you with that concept in general, because you see a lot of people who like the older generation of rap saying, ooh, today's generation of rap, they're not using lyrics, they're just going off of melodies, and they're saying like it's a bad thing. But I just see it as a sound evolving. And once you're able to expand your like listening horizons to other forms of rap and like how that genre is evolving, like I feel like you'd actually like some of the songs.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's an example for so many artists, and it happens all the time. Like everyone's like, oh, I didn't like Young Thug when he came out. Like people hated Young Thug when he came out, and look, now he's like one of the most influential artists like of our generation, at least in the rap space. And he has collaborated with a lot of people in pop. He's collaborated with a lot of people in like spaces that you wouldn't expect. Like people understand like his greatness, and people understand like the influence he has. And I feel like it just takes time for people to understand these things, because when you see the amount of works that they've influenced like over a span of like 6 years or something like that, they're like, oh, okay, this guy like actually has something going on for him. Like, that's what they said about like Playboy Cardi and stuff like that. Like people just need time to understand. Like people hated Whole Lotta Red when it came out. And now you see it's all over TikTok. He had like a huge, like probably one of the biggest tours in hip hop for last year, right? Like the Whole Lotta Red tour. Like people were going crazy. Like people were buying tickets. Like I think it happened. He touched Philadelphia at some point. Like it was just craziness. And to think a year ago, people were like, "This is awful." Like his career's ended. Like blah 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 blah. Like people can say whatever they want about you, but like your validation comes from within, because you have your fan base. Don't let it get to your head. Just like keep going, keep grinding, and if people come, they come. If they don't, they don't. Like you don't really know, because the only thing you really have is the present. So you just have to keep going if you're an artist. I'm speaking like I'm an artist. I'm really not. But these are the things that I kind of just internally know. So
You spitting, man. You spitting facts.
yeah.
And even though I don't listen to a lot of Playboy Cardi, I do know that I kind of want to get into this. He kind of inspired what I would call like shoulder roll kind of rap, like
okay.
rage rap.
Yeah, right.
Like Yeats, Sofago, all them. They kind of stem from Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
I know you're a really big Yeet guy, and I know he blew up in like 2021 with Sorry About That. What do you think? And he's going crazy right now.
Right.
What do you think makes him so good?
Whew, that's a good question. Honestly, I think what makes him so good is the fact that he's just like very, like, first of all, his production is very unique. I've never really heard too many artists like with a similar type of production and delivery, but also just the fact that he's very like is tokenable the right word? I'm trying to say like his vocabulary is like so unique. It's like easy to pick up on like a lot of trends, and there are just a lot of like different like points of virality from Yeats like stardom. Like there's so many points in which like some TikTok of his song blew up, and then some like crazy random guy, like, you know, the Twisty P situation. Like,
Yeah.
the one guy who like, I don't know if he's schizophrenic or whatever. He just like goes around saying, "Oh, spinning on these perks, like I'm allowed to," like, you know, like stuff like that. And he's like singing his lyrics, and he went viral off of that. And then just like all these like keywords and like made up like vocabulary terms like Twizzy and like whatever. Like you see so many people in their like Instagram posts like posting like Yeet vocabulary. And I'm like, wow, like the influence that this man has is like crazy. Like things just catch on like that. And we have so many things like subsections of your stardom that just catch on in like viral moments. Like people just like, they're so attracted to it. They get really attracted to it. And I think that's like a lot of the points in which like made him blow up. Also the fact that he's a white rapper, you know, that's very important too, because he is like, I guess, how do I describe it? Like he's very just like different in that sense, because usually you'll see like, I feel like white rappers in that space like more like Mac Miller, you know, on that type of like energy, but he's like completely embraced like the trap sound, and he's completely like embraced that like side of him, which like people can like, I guess people who want to be like that, or people who like artists like that in that space, they're like, there's no one else like that, you know, out. And I feel like him being the first makes him very like, very popular. So I don't know, like I think that's a good set of reasons.
Yeah, I mean, you put it pretty perfectly. I mean, if you stand out, like if you're really excelling at something and you're really good at it, and you look different from everybody else's around you, like inevitably you're gonna stand out more than anybody else in that space.
Exactly. Look at, what's his name, Eminem. He was like a first for a lot of people, and he's like kind of I guess like the impetus to like the big like popularity of like white rappers. Like if it wasn't for him, like there wouldn't really be like a way that other white rappers can like look up to, you know. Like he was like the pioneer, and there always needs to be like a pioneer in a sense. And that's honestly why representation matters so much, like in like any field, because people who aren't really represented in that field can like kind of see, oh, okay, maybe I can actually do this too. And in doing that, like it shows, oh, okay, if a lot of people who are not already in this space think that they can do it and they do it well, you've increased like the talent pool in that space, which makes like the longevity of like a certain like whatever that space is pertaining to like longer. You know what I mean? Like the same for like anything. You think of basketball, you can think of like school, you can think of the workplace, like anything, like sports, like whatever. Like diversity and inclusion is very important, even if we're talking about a group that's very widely represented in like nearly all spaces being like white people. So yeah, it's important.
Yeah, for sure. Like DEI efforts, very important. It kind of feels like now, though, even though they are important, which I agree with, you see, especially during the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, you saw certain companies who didn't really have a legacy of caring about DEI start to care about it, and then you start to wonder, do they genuinely care? Are they doing it to try to maximize profits through like enhancing their, you know, image to society, you know? So it's a question of like whether or not it's genuine on some companies' ends.
Well, yeah, that's an issue. At that point, it becomes a prerequisite in the social climate like that, like the 2020. I guess like the whole racial social climate that we're talking about from then. Like, you kind of had to, you know what I mean? Like, you can really gauge whether or not they're doing this, whether or not like they're doing it because they actually care or because they are forced to. So, but regardless, it's getting done. Like, whatever is the reason in which that diversity and inclusion becomes like an important factor, like as long as it's there, it's there. Personally, the reason for change will be evident once like an issue happens and you see a company's response. That's like when you really see like the true colors of whatever, you know. So I don't know. Personally, as long as it happens, it happens. So
for sure. Yeah. I agree with you there. And speaking of DEI stuff, you know, I know you're in NSBE. It stands for National Society of Black Engineers. Yeah. You're a computer science student, so and you're black, I assume.
Yeah. I assume. Don't assume my race. But I'm glad you asked.
Yeah. I know you're the fundraising chair. Tell me what it's like, you know, being a part of that.
Oh, it's nice. I've been a part of NSBE since I guess the first, like my first semester here at Penn, which wasn't really my semester here at Penn. It was over online. Excuse me. And I essentially just like logged in to GroupMe and just like applied for like the freshman rep position. And ever since then, like I've been with, wait, can I say names? Or,
oh yeah.
Okay, my friend Abdi and Jamie, like we've been freshman reps. We were freshman reps that year, and then we applied to like other positions later. And it was just like a really nice way for me to like connect with like black engineers, because you know coming into Penn, like I wasn't really too privy on just like knowing how to get into like certain spaces and how to connect with people. So I feel like NSBE was like a great way for me to like start. And I would like recommend that to like every black engineer, like find like a lot of spaces in which there are black people in which you can like actually like, you know, make all these like really important connections, because those people are usually going to be the most comfortable with you and vice versa. So yeah, through them, I've gotten internships. I've like gotten a lot of help on like just any type of work I've needed to do. I've gotten a lot of like tutelage from like older like upperclassmen. So like it's a very important thing. Like even if you don't have a board position in like any of these type of clubs, like always make sure that you're involved in some type of way. But more specifically, as fundraising chairperson, that's just like for this year. I've been in charge of like marketing, like a lot of like different sales for NSBE and a lot of different I guess like fundraising events. Like we have a bake sale, like we had like bake sales a couple times, and they actually did sell very well. We had Amy Gutman show up to one of them.
Yeah, I saw.
Cool. Yeah. And also just like me specifically, I'm in charge of like making the merch, which I kind of didn't do too well this year because like I had a huge like issue with printing them out, but I'm getting on it. They're still technically not printed out, but I designed it myself. It's my first job designing. I definitely could have done a better job, but you know, we always learn, we improve. It was my first time doing it, and you know, I'm glad I did. It was fun. It was nice, and just being a part of NSBE is just always a blessing. So, yeah, that's about it.
I mean, you start, we gotta grow and improve and get better. You know,
exactly,
it's all part of the process.
No, I saw what's it called? You know, BSL.
Yeah.
Like their stuff from last year was not good. Like their sweatshirts, in my opinion, it just said Black Pen, and I was like, okay, like, all right, cool. Like, it's nice that they give them out for free. I think they gave them out for free after like the Six Flags trip. I don't know if you went to that.
I didn't go.
Yeah, this is freshman year. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But they improved their stuff, and they had like these new hoodies that are like really nice designs. And I was like, wow, like it really makes a difference. Like they look so nice compared to the stuff I made. So I'm like, I'm trying to get like them. So
they're tough. I ordered one, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're tough. With the
Which
black
color?
pen with they have the white. Oh, which color?
Yeah.
I don't have many. I usually go for a dark color, but I already have a lot of dark clothes. So I went for the white one with the black text on the back. Because it just looks so hard.
Okay. I mess with that. It would go nice with the black forces. for sure.
Yeah, you can't see my kicks, so I'm wearing black AF1s.
Should we have a kick show off?
I don't know if the camera can see them, but it might be too.
You can take off your shoe and just do a little 360.
360? It's like the Wendy Williams show, the shoes and all that. I put up to the camera though. I don't know.
Okay. I'm just wearing Birkenstock Bostons, but that's about it. They're just clogs.
Some Birks.
Yeah, some Birks.
How come you don't have your toes out? How come you're wearing closed-toed Birks?
Dude, like that's the whole point. They're just cool. Like I don't know, camera, boom, done.
Yes, sir.
But I don't know. It's just a style choice. They're like fancy Crocs. Yeah, no, I like them. So
I remember, like you mentioned that being a part of Nesby allowed you to get game from upperclassmen, and they were really helpful for connecting with opportunities and stuff. I had the exact same experience as a member of Black Wharton. Like freshman year, I was just a general body member.
Right.
But I got on the board sophomore year, and it's just being around like those people, and like you learn so much from them.
Yeah.
They teach you, they point you to like different programs to apply to, different resources, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like you kind of have to tap into that network somehow.
Yeah, they taught me that the recruiting game and just like game in general, like in academia, is not as set in stone or as like stringent as you think. Like there are a lot of like loopholes, that I didn't really know prior to talking to these upperclassmen. Like for instance, like I don't know, this is a small one, but just like how they say for certain jobs, there's like a GPA like limit. Like some companies do not even care. Like there's really not a GPA limit if you know the right people and you know like the right, like connections. Like you just have to like talk your way out of like a lot of situations, or into a lot of situations in academia and just like the professional world. So that's like just some of the like bits of knowledge that these people have taught me without, because if I didn't have that, like I don't know where I would be today. So I just greatly appreciate those people. Like they're just great.
For sure, man. Shout out to Nesby, man.
Yeah, shout out Nesby and shout out Black Wharton.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We had a collab event.
We did have a collab event.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't really a club event. It was just
it was Black Wharton.
Yeah, it was Black Wharton next night. We just ate and did stuff, and that was about it. But those are the best type of events.
Yeah,
for sure.
For real, food. I mean, having a grub at a GBM, you can never go wrong.
You can never go wrong. I think the next one's a mixer though.
Oh,
for sure. Just like some type of little party.
Yeah. Water and apple juice.
Exactly. You know it. So.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? So speaking of Nesby, you guys went on a trip to LA.
Yeah.
Tell me how that was like.
That was like a couple weeks ago. That was very, very nice. Very nice. Like, I've been to California before. I went to San Francisco with my family a long time ago, but this is my first time like actually in LA, and we were staying in Anaheim, and that's like where the convention center was. So like in the day we would get our business done and like talk to these companies. A lot of like big companies were there, like Tesla. I know what else. Apple was there. Google was there. It's like a lot of big like FANG level companies for computer science just like drool over. So I got to like talk and like market with them a lot, and other like smaller companies too. But yeah, it was like nice seeing like a whole group of like different Black people from around like the country, and some international too, just like coming to this one place for professional development events. So we just had a career fair there for like maybe 2-3 days, and then at night or like in the evening time, you just like go out to LA and travel. I went to USC, went there for a party. It was very cool. Yeah, it's actually like so much different than what I expected. Like, actually, no, it really isn't.
Sorry, just to ask, like, what'd you expect?
What I expected was like, I guess like a lot of like, okay, actually no, it was a little bit different than what I expected. I expected to see a lot of celebrities, like just walking around, but maybe I just didn't get too deep into LA. But it's definitely very rich, like as I would have thought. Like the USC students, like they have like, you know how we have scooters and stuff like that, just like that people can use personally. Like they just have stuff like lying around, like scooters everywhere, just lying around, like on the street. And it's like all you have to do is like, there's like some software that they have to, I guess like rent it out like from like your phone, and they just like scan the scooter with like their phone, like some weird barcode or something, and then it just like turns on, and you can go anywhere with it. And then once you're done, you just like lay it on the street. I'm like, what the hell? It's like,
it's crazy.
It's an interesting dynamic. There's also like free lifts, I think.
Oh,
after like 2 a.m. or like 1 a.m. or something like that.
is that like a college student discount?
Yeah, it's a college student discount. Penn should
Wow.
definitely do that
Wow.
because I know we have the money too. But yeah, the free transportation after a certain time is very useful. I can tell.
That's clutch.
Yeah, and just the houses there, frat houses, and like everything is just very well done, and just very like wow, like I'm just amazed. But other people on the trip got to see famous people. I didn't get to.
Who'd they see?
I know someone saw Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union where
Whoa.
they're eating. I was like, they're just like eating like normal people. I'm like, whoa, okay,
That's
cool.
crazy.
But yeah, it's a really cool place for sure. I'm definitely gonna come back at some point in some capacity. So yeah.
Yeah, LA. Like honestly, I would have if I didn't go to Penn, I'd probably be on the West Coast. I'd probably be at USC, and like just that school and just that area seems so fun just to be as a young person.
It is. It's great. It's great. A lot of like celebrities performing there, and just like, I mean, I guess celebrities perform here too, but you know, it's just a different vibe because it's always warm and it feels like it's summer all the time. And then as soon as I came back here, it was like 2 degrees, and I was like, what is going on? It is April, so. But you know, it was a great experience for sure.
I also just feel like West Coast vibes are unmatched.
Yeah.
Like you're just walking down, you know, Melrose, Rodeo.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we're like romanticizing it a little bit, but for sure, I think it's something that everyone needs to experience once if they can. But I definitely need to get a deeper dive at some point because I was there for a limited amount of time, but eventually, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like a fun trip.
Yeah.
I know that you worked at CVS for a little bit. You know, you were a cashier.
Yeah.
For quite some time, like more than a year. Like, tell me how that was like.
No, that was like near like 2 years. It was like my first job when I was 16. And like, it was just like a interesting, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, actually, no, it was like my first like real like job experience. And it was just me learning a lot of things about life, meeting a lot of different people, and tell me about like the corporate world of like America, and just like why I am so blessed to be in the position I am, because I was like at the time, like, yeah, I did use it for like a lot of essential things that like actually like really needed at the time, but like some people are even more like they're 40 years old, like working at CVS like 50 hours a week, like just grinding and like trying to find like food for their family, trying to, you know, live off food stamps and stuff like that. And I think it like kind of showed me like the importance of the position that I have like at the moment. Like just being at UPenn is a blessing, and like no matter how I think I'm doing, like I'm still like more blessed than other people. So I have to definitely like not take that for granted, because a lot of people have to like really work, and sometimes don't really get what they want out of the work that they do. So yeah, it was definitely a great like learning experience into just understanding like what I need to do, where my head needs to be, and appreciating where I'm at. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that point you touched on is really impactful, because I think I saw this in a podcast that I was listening to, and someone was saying that I'm fortunate that my situation enabled me to like dream big, and I wasn't like, I'm not phrasing it as pretty as like the person originally did, but basically just saying that like because of his situation and being you know blessed in some sort of way, you're able to you know think big and have you know big goals and stuff like that without being scared of them, or without having them seem like a movie script or something like that. So just being at Penn is just a really big privilege, I'm not gonna lie.
The most underprivileged are usually the hungriest, so you have to they have to fight for their spot. So don't think that you can just stay complacent. You know what I mean? Like they're coming for you. Like you have to like really like not take what you have for granted, and like just keep at it, because someone else wants your spot. So
Yeah,
you have to, and you know, you give them all the respect that they can, like, you know, because it's this dog eat dog world, I guess. Like it's just crazy, but yeah, taught me a lot. Also, a lot of crazy stories from there. Like I have a lot of like weird like I don't even remember, like, I mean, people would like steal from there a lot. I mean, I guess that's just like working at a retail job, but just like it got like crazy at a point. Like there's just a lot of stuff. I've worked at like other places, like diners too, and like that got pretty crazy too for some reason. I'm not really too sure why, but like all these places, like they're just like so odd. Like I always get like a really weird customer, like or like a really like unruly customer, or like a fight breaks out or something like that. So I think working like these type of like minimum wage like side hustles or like whatever you can, like, or some people like have it as like their actual like main job. Like it's very important in like getting life experiences from real people. Like people at Penn are not fully real people. Like I mean, okay, like they are, but like as in the fact that it's not the average person. You know, the average person is at these places. You know, so it's definitely important if you can to, you know, get that experience in. So yeah.
What were, because I even had this in my notes, like I was just thinking, okay, 16-year-old kid working at CVS. I even had my notes like, okay, bad experiences. Like what were any bad experiences you had working there, like you mentioned, and how'd you deal with, in your words, like unruly customers who were, you know, wilding out?
Oh, I mean, like, I don't even remember. Okay, like the first like experience of like an unruly customer was when my boss like caught someone like stealing, and like there was like a sheriff deputy like in the like vicinity at the point, but like she like I don't know what exactly happened, like because it's been a while, but like she got caught with the thing in her purse and she just like threw it like indiscriminately, kind of like at my face too, like all these like candies and like concealer like makeup stuff like just like got flung at my face. Like she just like threw it everywhere. Customers like she like stormed out the place, like drove off. I don't know if the deputy followed her or like whatever, but like it was like a whole thing. That was like my like first week in the job, so yeah, it was definitely got me really engaged in work though, because I was like, what is gonna happen today? But no, it was a nice experience. I also had an experience with my like second boss. Like she essentially cut my hours like completely to the point like I was fired essentially because I was like applying for colleges, and I guess maybe my leave of absence was like too long. She was like, okay, you're just off the schedule, but like you're not off the schedule, like, or you're not fired, you're just off the schedule. Like so she'd give me like 2 hours a week, and I just have to like pretend like I was okay with it. But then I quit and then got another job at Lowe's. So and that was summer leading into freshman year. Okay. So like all of freshman fall I was working at Lowe's. Oh. So that was like my thing, doing like Sys 120 and then going to like put a Lowe's vest on. So yeah, that was a nice little experience, some pocket money. So yeah.
Penn student by day, Lowe's employee by night.
No lie. Yeah, not anymore. That life is gone now that I think I'm good enough at computer science to get internships. So
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Love to hear it, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So now we're going to the Oluswole Bowl. This is part of the podcast where we ask you some off-the-cuff questions. Okay. It might be somewhat related to what we were talking about or somewhat unrelated, so that we'll see. And starting off, would you rather be able to transform into a blueberry at will, or have blueberries whisper to you the universe's deepest secrets, and no one would believe you?
Ooh. You know what? Okay, if I transform into a blueberry at will, can I like kind of like control? Oh yeah, it's at will, right? And like wherever. Wait, I don't even know the functionality of that, honestly. But okay, but for the second option, are these blueberries telling me stuff like without me asking if I want to know? Like are they just laying this information on me and I don't have the decision to like?
I never consider it like that. Maybe if you see a blueberry, so let's say you're in a grocery store, they're just going to start talking to you on their own accord.
About the universe's deepest secrets.
The universe's,
I'm turning to a blueberry. I'm sorry. The ignorance is bliss. Like, I don't know the deep secrets of the universe. That's going to give me an existential crisis. So, yeah. First option for sure. Just no one step on me. That's it.
Yeah, because one little squish and it's wraps.
Yeah, it's wraps. I'll just turn to a blueberry in my room. That'll be my little way to escape the world. So,
yeah. Okay. Interesting. I think I'd turn into a blueberry, but the thing is, it's just because it would just be dope to have that ability. Just like be like, you know, I'm just gonna disappear for a bit.
Yeah. You're just vulnerable. A little vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. And the problem is mobility would be a bit of a problem. Like how,
Like, do you just roll around or?
yeah, I think you'd have to roll around if you're a blueberry. But how would you like initiate the movement? You know,
Inertia? Is that what it's called? What's the physics term for that? Angular momentum.
I'm not the science man, bro.
I'm not the science man either. I do computer science. It's a different type of science.
That's facts.
So, I actually used to be good at physics. I don't know what happened.
That boy was nice.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Giving them boys in Wilmington that work, man.
I don't know about that, but no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going on to the second question, would you rather gain the knowledge of any book you touch or gain the skills of any person that you touch?
Oh, easy. The skills of any person I touch.
Yeah.
Because a lot of books have like nothing in them. Like you think reading a book is all academic. Like a lot of these books are just like, for instance, like philosophy books. Like there are a lot of quacks who write books. They can write anything. You know what I mean? Like your words mean a lot, but you can make anything out of a book. Literally anything. But if I see the skill of a person, that is tangible. I touch Steph Curry and I shoot like 100 out of 100 from the 3-point line. I mean, that's very useful, no? Like, I can go to any pickup game and be like, yeah, I got next. And then boom, boom, boom. I'm not hopping off that court for the next I don't know how long. So, but the book, I mean, it depends. Depends on what book I'm taking from. I don't know. I just don't see it as useful as another person.
100%. Because the thing is, the only thing that would be difficult is that you said if you touch Steph Curry, but how are you going to touch Steph Curry? You know, because he's probably walking with security.
Okay,
stuff,
no, that's fair. That's fair. But I mean, there are a lot of other talented people that I'm around all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, like wherever you go, you're going to find a talented person. You know, like I could touch you right now and start a podcast. See what I mean? Like it's just like everyone has their own little skills.
Yeah.
So I think that is a little bit more useful.
I agree with you there. Like everyone has their own God-given talents and just skills that they've worked on throughout their entire life as well. So
yeah,
man, imagine you could just go around, like just go to a concert with a bunch of 10 kids.
Yeah,
you could become like a final boss.
Honestly, is it like cumulative? Like you could, like, touch a skill.
I think that would be too OP. If it was cumulative.
No, that'd be too OP.
Maybe just one person at a time. I think
time limit.
Ooh, maybe till the next person that you touch.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. No, that is useful. Are you kidding me? That's so useful.
Yeah,
I'm definitely taking that. So,
yeah, maybe I should have. It would have been really clutch to, like, I don't know, touch one of the kids in like the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences and I was doing Math 104. Just get their brain real quick.
Yeah, just pick their brain.
Yeah, literally.
I like that.
Yeah. And then lastly, if you feel comfortable sharing, like, what's your most embarrassing caught in 4K moment?
Caught in 4K moment? Bro. Wait. Do I even have one, honestly? I'm trying to think. Caught in 4K. I mean, like... Like, does it have to be a pen or just, like, anywhere?
It can be anywhere.
Anywhere? I mean, I just, like... Okay, maybe, like, senior year of high school. Like, me and my friend Mason, like, we... like, okay, so, as context, we go to different schools. And his school had a, like senior skip day. And essentially, I just wanted to join. So, I... Like, this is stupid. Like, I have no idea why we did this. Like, he called my school pretending to be my dad. I'm so serious. And mind you, this is like a scrawny white kid. And like he was like, oh, like, this is Mr. Emeribe. Can I get Luka out of school? And, or like something like that. And like, the guy said, okay, no, like, what's your real name? And then he said his dad's name. And I was like, and then he hung up. And then they called me to the office and was like, did you just have someone try to get you out of school? And I was like, no, I don't know who that is. And like, should I even be saying this? I don't know. Well, just know, like, it was a whole situation. But regardless, they called my parents. And like, I got in like, I mean, I got in trouble, but like, they're just like disappointed. Like, they're like, you really tried to skip out of school. I don't know why what you thought was going to happen. But that was probably the dumbest thing I've done in a long while. Okay. So hopefully no more stories like that. But yeah.
So did they see your friend or did they just hear him?
No, they just heard him over the phone.
Okay.
But then like as soon as like they caught on, he just like drove out my parking lot. So, but yeah, that was a story. That was a story.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, what is like Wilmington like? Like, what is it? What do you guys be doing? I saw you going to the beach.
Do you know how many times I get roasted for being from Wilmington? Like literally everyone's like, yo, what even is Delaware? Like every single one of my friends try to roast me for that. I'm like, bro, you're from like Wichita. Like I don't know why you're talking. Why is it Delaware that always gets like the most shade? Like it's actually kind of crazy. But like Wilmington, like there's really not much. But like honestly, like we have no taxes, right? We have nice beaches in Delaware, like Bethany Beach, Rehoboth Beach. I'm sure Penn kids go to those a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe like spring break. And then we have like just like I said, no taxes. Joe Biden. It's great. Like it's honestly a very nice place. Like we have a lot of people from there. You know, I just know the basketball players from there, like Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
He's from my school, Sally's high school. Bones Highland, Deshaun Highland
Nuggets.
from the Nuggets. He's tearing it up as a rookie right now, and he will be in the league for a long time. Fingers crossed. But yeah, he's like Jamal Crawford 2.0. There's a lot of talent in Delaware, and people don't know it. So me and my roommate are actually like we're from Delaware, like not similar areas, but like we live like 20 minutes apart, kind of, and like our moms knew each other before. Like, and then we just happened to like meet like during like playing basketball at Penn. So it's a very small place, but it is definitely a place which has a lot of talent coming from it. It's like Gary, Indiana, you know, like how like every talented person is from there. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I haven't heard of it. No.
Really? Okay.
No.
Like Michael Jackson's from there, just like a random place. Who else?
It's like
Freddie Gibbs. I don't know.
wow.
Like, but like I know a lot of like talented like made it from the mud type people are from Gary, Indiana. Same from Wilmington, Delaware. So yeah, tap in
with DE, man.
Yeah, tap in with DE. I'm telling you.
Man.
So yeah.
I don't know if you'll catch me there though, but
Yeah, I mean, shoot. If you want to visit, it's a nice place. Trust me. Don't sleep on it. But yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've lived in Philadelphia, Houston, and Abu Dhabi, so those are all like major cities. So I haven't really lived in a small like or a lesser known area like that. But I mean, there are definitely some places in the U.S. that are hella slept on. So
Yeah.
maybe I should tap in with that.
For sure,
you know?
for sure. I mean, it's so close. Like it's like 20, 25-minute drive. So
Yeah.
from here, you should tap in at some point. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so this wraps up the end of the podcast, man. Like, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Timmy. Thank you.
No worries, bro. Oluswole is on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We're on TikTok. What's on TikTok? So Corvette, Renegade, all that.
Corvette. Tap in.
Thank you, guys. Peace.